Hello everyone, Storm 101 here. Today we'll be tracking potentially a winter storm that could happen across portions of North Carolina, maybe getting into portions of Virginia there as well. We'll be taking a look into a few models. I also got my forecast as well, which is actually my second call. Had to make some major changes there as well. What we got currently going on right now, we actually do have what in these dark blues here. Winter storm watches are in effect for pretty much most of western North Carolina, even getting into the mountains of Tennessee, of eastern Tennessee, I should say. Eventually getting into some counties across Virginia there as well. Meanwhile, across portions of Arkansas, Missouri, we got winter weather advisories, and also 5 counties are in winter storm warnings. Those are regions that could possibly see over 4 inches of snow there as well. So, which is pretty nice for some of those folks there as well. So, let's kind of look into some of these models here. And we're going to start off with the high-res Canadian. And as you can see here, as we kind of go for the timeline here, you can see we have a pretty decent burst of at times moderate snow across portions of Arkansas to Missouri there as well. And as we kind of continue on further down the road, light snow may be going on across portions of Kentucky, eventually getting down to portions of Tennessee there as well. And as we get into Thursday night into Friday, you can see there's a pretty good swath of moderate to heavy snow across most of western North Carolina. You see a couple heavy bands across portions of Tennessee, even get into a couple counties across northeastern Alabama and northwestern Georgia there as well. As we kind of continue on, you can see how the heavy snow just continues to come down across portions of North Carolina, eventually getting into Virginia there as well, and it pretty much moves out at that point. How much snow could we see? Well, let's take a look into it here. So this is the high-risk Canadian. And as you can see, going back across, Missouri and Arkansas, you can see snowfall amounts could be anywhere from 1 to possibly up to 4 inches of snow. There could be some isolated higher spots there as well. You can see probably a coating to maybe an inch of snow across portions of Kentucky, back across portions of the Ohio Valley around Paducah, Kentucky. And then you got a pretty good area of 1 to possibly 4 inches of snow across central and eastern Tennessee. And then as you get into western North Carolina, this is where we do expect to see most of the snow at this point. Generally anywhere from 6 to maybe 8 inches of snow there as well. You may get into a couple areas of Virginia there as well. Let's look into the high-res NAM. As you can see here, going back across portions of Arkansas, it's got some hot spots there. For some areas, you can see 6+ inches of snow, but I think that's just going to be overdone. You can see there's a pretty decent corridor of snow right here. For some accumulations here, you can see here, goes out for a pretty good while. Anywhere from south central Missouri all the way into central Kentucky here, where some areas by this ball could see anywhere from 1 inch to possibly 4 inches of snow, although I think 4 inches of snow is overdone. But I think it may be generally at least an inch of snow was possible here. Models may going back and forth a little bit with this here as well, but we're starting to see a little bit better agreement there. Meanwhile, across central Tennessee, could be anywhere from, which doesn't include Nashville, anywhere from 1 to possibly 4 inches of snow. But I think 4 inches of snow again is probably a little bit overdone. And then when you look across western North Carolina, eastern Tennessee, and eventually getting into portions of Virginia, there's way even getting into a county in West Virginia, possibly into southeastern Kentucky. These are areas that could pick up anywhere from, which this ball is spinning anywhere from 6 inches to a foot of snow, but I think a foot of snow is overdone there as well. I think some of the highest amounts would probably likely be 8 inches of snow across those areas. But we got some uncertainties right in this region here that I have circled here. We do have some uncertainty here. There are some balls that show a lot of snow, and there are some other models that show close to nothing which I'll show you guys some of the other models as well. And the Her model is one of those. And as you can see here again with that swath of possibly 1 to 3 inches of snow across portions of Kentucky, this model is actually not showing much snow for central Tennessee there, which is quite interesting there. That's really a coating to an inch of snow. But again, western North Carolina could be anywhere from 5 to 8 inches of snow, which also some areas by the Her model kind of expands it to northeastern Georgia there. But I don't think the amounts will be that high across northeastern Georgia. But it also takes up a pretty good chunk of North Carolina there as well. Generally speaking, 3 to maybe 5 inches of snow here across these regions here as well, which is quite interesting. But also, like I said about the uncertainty, you can see this is one of these models here showing about nothing, which is very interesting there. We're going to see about that area right now. I'm probably going to go kind of in between the models, average it out because which we do have some high uncertainties there. And here's the original NAM. And you can see it kind of going back across, Missouri, which it does have some of its hot spots there as well. I don't think this area won't see that much snow, but I think the general idea will be in this region and this region here as well. May need to watch for decent amount of snow. The NAM model where we've been talking about that band doesn't really show that much at all. Although it does have it back across around Evansville, Indiana. That was just south of it. But the NAMO's not been doing a good job, so you'll probably got to take this forecast as a grain of salt, which you can already tell already. It's also pretty far to the north. It's got some areas up to a foot across portions of southeastern Kentucky, which I don't think that's going to happen. But then when you look back across central Tennessee, you got areas anywhere from 1 inch to possibly 4 inches of snow there as well, which also includes Nashville, which some of you guys down there haven't seen much snow in a while, so this could be your chance to see a decent amount of snow out of this. Again, a good chunk of eastern Tennessee, by the NAM, anywhere from 7 to 9 inches of snow. Again, western North Carolina, 5 to 8 inches. Isolated hot spots up to a foot. And even scattered across portions of north central North Carolina, which I think that's going to be overdone there as well. And the last model we'll be taking a look at too is the Rapid Refresh model, the RAP. You can see here, it does show that nice swath of snow like I've been talking about here. Generally anywhere from a coating to 2 inches of snow there. Central Tennessee, again, not showing much snow. We're going to see what's going to be happening there, but I think I'm going to average it out there as well. And also, again, one of the models showing a lot of snow across those regions there. Definitely got some high uncertainty there. We'll be watching that closely. Although it does show a decent amount of snow over a good chunk of Virginia here as well. That's something a little bit different, but this could be a little bit of an outlier here as well. But again, Western North Carolina, this is where we have the best confidence right now. Western North Carolina and also the mountains of Eastern Tennessee, which includes the Smokies, and where we can see anywhere from 5 to 8 inches of snow, which this fall spinning out. Some areas could see close to a foot of snow there as well. Although it'll probably be safe to say that some of those top of those mountains could see a foot of snow. I think that's a pretty safe bet. There's one. That's probably the better probability where we could see quite a bit of snow. And again, even down to portions of northeastern Georgia could see a little bit of snow there as well. All right, let's look into my forecast here. I'm not sure if this is gonna be my final. Yeah, but we're gonna see here. Let's go from west to east. So again, we have that kind of bullseye area where we do have those winter storm warnings. Those are areas that could see over 3 inches of snow. And then areas in the light blue, this is where we could see 1 to 3 inches of snow. I don't think some of these areas will reach 3 inches, although 1 to 2 inches seems possible at least there as well. Areas in the white, coating to 1. Then as we move a little bit east into Kentucky and Tennessee, you see here portions of west central and central Kentucky where we're talking about that light snow band could possibly see over an inch of snow. We're going to see about that, but it seems like it'd be happening pretty much along the Western Parkway and also the Bluegrass Parkway there as well. And then around Nashville, like I'm going to say, I'm probably going to average in between. I'll probably give you guys 1 to 3 inches for right now across Central Tennessee, and eventually moving into Western North Carolina, which I already see changes I may need to. I may have to expand this coating to 1, probably a little bit further north here as well. We're going to see about that because we still have some uncertainties with that. But then again, areas, in the dark blue, this is where we have the highest confidence of seeing the most of snow. Although I may expand that into portions of Virginia there as well. And you can see here we do have a 3 to 5 inch zone as far east as possibly southern Virginia and north central North Carolina there as well. Some changes are probably going to be needed in this forecast, but we're going to see about that. It's going to be a pretty tough forecast here, especially when we have a pretty decent spread of miles. And like I said, where we have the high uncertainty, I'm going to be kind of averaging out, so I'll give this area 1 to 3 inches at this point. We'll be safe about it there as well. But anyways, guys, this is all for you guys today. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys like this video, hit the like button. If you really like my channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you're never miss an upload. If you guys have questions about this, you can put in the comment section down below. I'll answer you guys' questions. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.